Hello Internet! Thank you again for inviting me onto your screens. Now, I'll give you three guesses what I just finished watching. And your three guesses up. Day of the Doctor, of course. 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. Who? Looking. Not sure I've ever had. Well, yeah, I got quite the point being I was really looking forward to quite a. Well, it's just one of those things. Just the thought of it would give you butterflies in your stomach. And yeah, I've just pretty much literally just finished watching it, and so doing another one of these. Well, it's all up in here, I suppose. So, Day of the Doctor, 50th anniversary. Underwhelming. Yeah. Not bad, not good, just underwhelming. I mean, 50th anniversary of Doctor Who is not exactly out of line to have high hopes. And it didn't deliver, it just really didn't. Let's see, what shall I... trying to think of what to talk about first. I'll just talk about why it's underwhelming then. And then, of course, as anyone will know, it's the three Doctors of the new generation, I suppose. Although I've never seen three Doctors, but I digress. So we got 10th, 11th and presumably the 8th Doctor, John Hurt, all together for one reason or another. And it's all about, as the series has been building up to what I believe the day the Doctor has been running from his entire life. Oh wait, that was the question, not the day. Oh wait, yes, the day, it was in the trailer. The day of the Doctor. And, I suppose I'll just say right here, spoilers. I'll get into it. Try to keep it minimal. I'll just go with the basic plot. But considering the last time, we might give some stuff away without realising it. So anyway, so you got the Doctor. So assuming John Hurt is the 8th Doctor, that I'm just going to refer to him as the 8th Doctor from now on. He's okay. So the whole day of the Doctor is apparently the day the Doctor had to destroy Gallifrey, the Time Lords, and the Daleks. Although that kind of brings up one plot hole. I mean, I'll get to that later. And for one reason or another, I now realise. Oh wait, no, never mind. There's reasons. He comes into contact with his older selves, the 10th and the 11th, and the whole plot is basically about the 8th Doctor decide. Well, the main point is that the 8th Doctor is trying to decide whether or not he's actually going to destroy Gallifrey and the Time Lords and all that. And let's see. Looking at what he becomes, in his older selves as a result of it, I suppose is going to help. So it's the basic plot summary. Won't give away the ending, of course. But what it is what makes this so underwhelming. The biggest thing, probably, well, at least one of the biggest things, is the fact that the plot is just so very confused. I mean, just about half of the whole thing is about this invasion of these stupid-looking shape-shifting aliens called Zygons. And they get to a point and they literally, they just drop it completely, drop it, move on to this whole Eighth Doctor making his decision. And I suppose I get that. I get why. Well, saying I get why. You know, I suppose the Eighth Doctor seeing his older selves in action, that's one thing. That's why that's one reason why it goes like that. But you can't just keep us focused for half of the whole thing, and building tension and all, for something that you're going to completely drop. That's just... why? It's bloody... And as a result, I'm just left... what's the word? Without resolution to that particular bit, I suppose. I suppose we're supposed to assume that it is resolved. Although, remembering now, there's a bit of a string continuity not tied up in there, but maybe that's for future episodes. But again, not resolved. So I'm left reeling, so to speak. So they pretty much waste our time doing that. Okay, I get why they're doing it, but did they have to put so much focus, so much importance on it? I mean, surely just a way you could have the Eighth Doctor see his older selves. Pardon me twice. So, without drawing so much focus away from his decision-making process. I'm just left with two different focuses for the plot. And one's just completely left unresolved, pretty much pointless. So, and I'm just left wondering about that. You know, just left somewhere just in the back of my mind. That's still there. It's not resolved. And so I'm just completely not feeling all the right things, I suppose. Well, perhaps I'm kind of making this up as I go along. When the resolution to the proper plot comes. Proper plot. Alliteration. So, that's one of the biggest reasons that it's just underwhelming. This whole plot is just, what? This happens, then you just go to this, what happened to that? Ugh. And I suppose the second reason it's underwhelming is it's not exactly epic, it's not big, it's just not, it just doesn't have a suitably sized, suitably big scale of a plot for the 50th bloody anniversary. Just what happens is, sure, it's something that's kind of neat, and I suppose it does leave some good opportunities. Although unless those opportunities taken advantage of, this whole entire bloody anniversary will be made pointless. So, you see the Time War, talk about how the Doctor ends it, but the end result, stuff in between, it's just not big enough. It's not anniversary material, I suppose. It's underwhelming. And third big thing, so many questions are still there. So many questions. Like, thinking the 50th anniversary, I suppose I was expecting, well, I don't think it was out of line to expect some of the questions from the series to be answered. Who are the Silents? What did they do to the TARDIS? Was it even them that took control of the TARDIS when it blew up at one time? There was something else. On the field's defense law, the question is... Yeah, what's the big secret behind the Doctor's name? Why is it so dangerous? Or is it just dangerous because of what happens in the name of the Doctor? His name results in that one thing. Well, I don't know about that, because Doctor goes on about how it's such a massive secret. Like, in The Wedding of River Song, he's talking to Winston Churchill, in that sense, about a secret that, a massive secret that must never ever be revealed. And that's part of the reason, I suppose, why the Silents want him dead. Yeah, determined the question will be never answered. And that has nothing to do with the 50th anniversary, the day of the Doctor. It has nothing to do with anything. It's been... we've had 3 bloody seasons of unanswered questions. I think building up to something as massive as the 50th anniversary, was it too much to expect answers? Was it? Oi. So, I suppose there's the reasons. It's underwhelming. That's what makes it not bad, not good either. Completely just not good enough. So with the bad out of the way, let's move to some of the better stuff. And the stuff was probably made it worth watching. David Tennant sharing the screen with Matt Smith. Oh, brilliant. Oh, so good to have David Tennant back, even for a wee bit. My Doctor, the 10th Doctor. Good to see him. Good stuff in there. Yeah, by the way, sorry for any background noise. Mum and Dad are in the next room. But anyway, good stuff. Just to see the 3 Doctors on screen together, that's just great in and of itself. And then there's some, there's good banter between them. I suppose we might say you can see the contrasts. Again, you get David Tennant back. Still can't believe Christopher Eccleston didn't come back. Why not? A bloody big wasted career opportunity. I mean, I know he's already kind of big, but the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, why wouldn't he want to be there? Ugh. But I digress. So, let me think. Okay, there's some... Okay, so the Doctor sharing the screen. That in and of itself, I suppose, it probably might just make it worth it for anyone to see, especially a Whovian such as myself. Let me think. What else is there? Oh, I had it. Some good emotional moments, I suppose. Like with the bit right before the climax. There's a very nice bit in there. It's very... Yes. Then again, yeah, it's a really nice bit, but considering what happens next, I shan't spoil. Though I might just have spoiled the emotional bit for you. Sorry. It's not. It's just underwhelming, I suppose. It was nice to see a bit of the Time War. fight between the Daleks and the Time Lords. But not that much. Not that much. One other thing. Time War. Oh, what was it? Oh, aye. Yeah, another bad thing to bring to the table is at least 3 instances I can think of where things are just chucked in there, chucked into it all, just because it's like it's been used before, so they know it works, but it doesn't. It just feels forced, I suppose, or out of place. Like in the beginning, in the opening, there's this. They go look into the Time War, and you see the Daleks and attacking Gallifrey, and you've got that dark and endless Dalek night music from Journey's End and the Stolen Earth, and that's the theme tune for Dalek Invasion, but it just feels off. I mean, it's not used as well as Dalek music has been in the past, like it was in Bad Wolf. Bad Wolf, I think it was called. Oh god, spoilers. Again, if you're watching the 50th anniversary, you should have seen this. Should have seen Bad Wolf already. So yeah, it's just not used as well as it could be, I suppose. It just starts off in the middle. The song starts off in the middle and just goes with it, and it just kind of keeps going longer than it probably should. It's not used the way it should be when it gets to certain pitches, so to speak, in the flow of the song. And so there's that. Okay, I suppose I'm nitpicking with that, but well, as an example of forced use, there's another bit where the 10th Doctor, recites that whole speech he did in Voyage of the Damned. I'm the Doctor, I'm a Time Lord, I'm from the planet Gallifrey in a constellation of Casterbrus. I'm 906 years old and all that, and I'm just being a geek by reciting that. Yeah, so he does that, and it leads to an obvious joke, and just forced. Again, that's what I'm nitpicking, but it's just something I want to bring up. Not sure there's much else to say about it. Just completely underwhelming. A disappointment, really. We deserved better. We've been waiting 50 years for this, and that's all we get. Well, I say we, but yeah, 50 years leading up to that, and it's just disappointing. And because of another one of those forced moments, I get the feeling I'm not going to think the same. One of the best scenes in the entire series. Right at the end. You might know it. Anything else? Suppose. Well. Yeah, I don't want to say because it'll be spoilers, sort of. There's one bit in there at the end that's just not explained well enough. Don't know what the catalyst is. I suppose I shouldn't say, but it's to do with the 8th Doctor. Don't know why it happens, really. Just give us some flimsy explanation that I don't get. Yeah. And so if you're gonna watch it, just don't have high hopes, and maybe just watch it for the fun of it. The Doctors together and some things chucked in there for a laugh, for fun, for referencing, for respect. I suppose I don't necessarily regret watching it. Maybe a little bit because I had higher expectations. But yeah, I suppose as well watch it if you. Pardon me, especially if you're a Whovian. And yeah. And as I say, I suppose. Much think of anything else, suppose I'll put it in the description. But that's about it. Day of the Doctor, completely, utterly underwhelming. 50 years and that's all we get. Oh well, see how the series continues. Ugh, it's really disappointing now that I think about it. I mean, I remember how I felt at the end of The Name of the Doctor. Just, such a big thing right at the end. I was hyped up immediately. And that's what I get. Maybe being a bit dramatic. But yeah, disappointment. Don't have high hopes if you haven't watched it already. Then again, I would never look at something like this before watching it, so I suppose some other people might want to see some things before making a decision. But oh well. Whether it be that or just me, just being me expressing my opinion, it's something to make this video have a point. But yeah, I suppose that's it. Hello, ciao internet, take care of yourselves.